Welcome back to this new video tutorial in Microsoft Excel. Today we are going to look into what is VBA and Macro in Microsoft Excel. Basically, the VBA and Macro both are used for automating the repetitive task. First of all, let's look into what is VBA. VBA is a programming language developed by Microsoft to automate the repetitive task in Microsoft Office applications like Excel, Word, PowerPoint, Outlook, etc. In Microsoft Excel, we can do more with VBA. That is, we can create the custom functions. We can develop a mini software to manage the data and information. And we can extend the functionality of Microsoft Excel by VBA. For example, here in this sheet, I have automated these three things by using Visual Basic for application. Here in this sheet, I have a order quotation format. Every time I generate a order quotation for the customer, I need to save this quotation as a PDF file. So here, the process of saving the file as PDF is automated. By clicking on this button, I can save this order quotation as a PDF file with the name of the customer and the quotation number and date. The another thing is the order quotation number will automatically change when I click on this button. This will increase by 1. The third thing is the variable range here will automatically delete after I click on the save button. So all these three things are automated here by using VBA. By using Visual Basic for application, we can create mini softwares too. Here let me show you one example. Here I have an inventory management software developed by using Visual Basic for application. Here you see when I click on this button, a software will be opened. This inventory management software is created by using VBA. Now let's learn what is macro in Microsoft Excel. Macro is a sequence of instructions that is used for automating the repetitive task. And the set of instruction is written in a VBA language. And in macro, we don't need to write the script manually. We can record every single action we do in Excel. And the recorded action is written in a VBA language by Excel itself. To explain what is macro and how we can automate repetitive things by using macro, I will take help of these sheets. Let's go to this sheet number 1. And here first of all, let's see how Microsoft Excel will generate a VBA language by using macro. To properly use the macro and VBA feature in Excel, first of all we need to save our Excel workbook as macro enabled. First of all, let's learn how to create a macro enabled Excel file. For this, here in desktop, I will create a new Excel worksheet. This is a normal worksheet. To convert this worksheet into macro enabled, open the worksheet first. Then click on the File tab. Click on Save As. And here in the Save As type, you have to select this Excel macro enabled workbook that has an extension of .xlsm. So you have to select this macro enabled type. Then here choose the location of the file. Here I am selecting desktop. Then click on the save button. Now it will save a macro enabled version of the file, which you can see here. This is a normal workbook and this is a macro enabled, where you can see a macro icon is given. So to use the macro and VBA feature, you have to save your file in this format. After that, open the file, then start working with macro and VBA. Now let's go to this sheet and here let's learn how does macro generates VBA script. To see the macro features, click on the developer tab. If your Excel is not showing the developer tab, you have to first enable this by going to File, go to More, Options, then click on Customize Ribbon, and here you have to enable the developer tab, then click on OK. Now here in the developer tab you can see the Visual Basic and macro is given here, and here you see a record macro option. This record macro is used for recording the every action that we do here in Microsoft Excel. Now let me record a simple macro here. To start recording the macro, click on this record macro button. Now here you can give a new name for the macro, or you can leave as it is. In the description section you can write the text describing what does this macro do, or you can also leave it blank. Then click on OK. When you click OK, here you see stop recording is activated. It means that currently Excel is recording every action that we do here. Suppose that here in this cell, if I write apple, press the enter key, then write ball in the another cell. Now if I click on stop recording, Excel has recorded these two actions I did here. To see this, you have to go to this macros, click on it. Then here you can see the macro 2 is given. If you click on the edit, then you will see the VBA language here. Here you see this is the VBA language that is able to do this action in Excel. If we use this macro, then it will write the apple and ball here in these two cells. For example, if I delete this, then go to the macros, select this macro 2, then click on the run button. Here you see the apple and ball is written in these cells. So this is a very basic example of recording macro. Now let's go to the practical example. For example, you are working in a distribution company. You have to send the report of sales team to your manager every day. This is a sample report of daily sales which is extracted from a software. Every day you have to extract the report from the software. Then you have to send this report to your manager. But before sending the report, you have to do some modification here in the report. You have to change the formatting of the report. Then here you need to insert a column to calculate effective call percentage. So this thing you have to do every day, which is a repetitive task. You have to highlight the column headers by a color, then select the report, apply the border in the report, so this thing you have to do before sending this to your manager. And this thing you need to do every day. In 19th of May, when you export your report from the software, then again you have to do the same thing here. In another day you have to do the same thing here. So this kind of repetitive things can be automated by using macro. Now let's learn how to record the macro and reuse it. First of all, before recording your action, go to the developer tab, then click on the record macro. And here I'll give the macro name is make final report. This is the macro name, and in the description I will write this applies formatting in the report and uses formula. This is just for example. After giving the name and description, click on OK. Now here Excel has started to record the action. Now select your column headers, then apply the background color here, then select the data, apply the border by going to this all border, then here insert a column, then in the inserted column write effective call percentage. Then here use this formula, press is equal to, click on the effective call divided by total call, change this to percentage by clicking on the percentage, then drag this down, then here calculate the total. Now here use the formula is equal to sum, then select the range, then drag this formula till the end, and for the effective call drag this cell down. Now apply the border here too. Then select your all data, then make it center aligned. Now after doing this all, go to the developer tab, then click on stop recording. Now Excel has recorded all the action that I did here, which I can see by going to the macros. Here you see make final report macro is saved. If I click on edit, here you see the VBA script is generated by Excel, and this all script is used for automating the repetitive task, that is to apply the formatting to the data and to use the formula here. So after recording this action, now in the next day when you export your report from the software, then you don't need to do the thing manually. You can directly use the macro here. Simply click on macros, click on your make final report macro, then click on run button, and here you see everything is done automatically. Again in the next day when you export the report from your software, then you have to simply go to the developer, go to macros, then run this make final report macro, then the things will be done automatically. So this is how we use the macro to do the repetitive task. Now every day when you export the report, then you can simply use that macro to do the things for you, which saves lot of time. Now let's go to this sheet where you have to understand what is relative reference in macro. Here in the developer tab, if you see below the record macro, there is an option use relative reference. This relative reference we have to use when our data is in different location of the sheet. In this previous example, every day the data is in the same location of the sheet, like from the A1 cell to H8 cell. But in some case the data may not be at the same position, like here if you see these data are in the different location of the sheet. So in this case, before recording the macro, we have to use this use relative reference. First of all, click on this first cell of the data, then click on use relative reference. When this is selected, click on record macro. Now here I am giving the macro name is apply data format. While writing the macro name, you must not give any space between the words. If you have to separate every single word, then you can use the underscore symbol. Now click on OK. Now in this case, use the keyboard key to select the data. By holding shift, then right and down arrow, you can select. Then click on the home tab, then here apply the borders. Again use the keyboard up key, then click the down key, then select the titles, then apply the color highlight here. Now here go in the item name cell by using the down key, then type here some item name, press the enter key, then type another item name, press the enter key, again type another item name, then press enter. Now after doing this, go to the developer tab, then click on stop recording. Now the macro is recorded by using relative reference. Here we use relative reference because the data position is in different location. Now to apply this formatting here in this data, first of all we have to click on the first cell of the data, then go to macros, choose this apply data format macro, then click on the run button, and here you see the same formatting is applied here in this data. To apply this formatting to this data, we have to click on this cell, then click on macros, then run this macro. Now the same formatting is applied here. For this also you can use the apply data format macro, and here you see the formatting is applied. If we don't use this use relative reference in this case, the formatting will apply in this range only. So in case if your data is in different position, you have to use the use relative reference. Now let's go to this example number 2, where we will write a VBA code manually to automate the things here. Here in this sheet I have the order quotation format. Every time I generate a order quotation for the customer, I have to save this quotation as a PDF. I need to increase the quotation number by 1. Then I have to delete the detail of the previous quotation. So I have to automate these 3 things here. For example, here let me write a customer name, Valley Trade link. When I put the customer name here you can see the file name is created as the first word of the customer, then the order number, which is the quotation number 3, and the date. This you can do by using this function. Here you can see the function used for file name. This is just to make the file name when we save this as a PDF. You can download this workbook from the video description and see how this function works here. And also you can practice the macro and VBA in this workbook. Now here let me write some item name. The rate is suppose 20,000. Order quantity is 4 unit. Here I will write another item. Rate is suppose 5,000 rupees. Quantity order is 10 unit. Now a quotation is created. Now when I click on this save quotation as PDF button, what happens is, let me click here. Here you see the quotation is saved as a PDF which is in my desktop. Here if I go to desktop and open this quotation backup, here you see the quotation is saved in the name of the customer with the order number and the date. And here you see the detail of the previous quotation is cleared because it is already saved as PDF. So everything here is automated by using Visual Basic for application. If you go to the developer tab, then click on Visual Basic. Here in the module 1, this is the VBA code which is automating these 3 things here. So now let's learn how we can write the VBA code manually to automate the things here. So let me go to the Visual Basic again, then delete this module created by clicking on this remove module. Now to automate these 3 things here in this order quotation format, first of all you have to go to the developer tab, then go to Visual Basic. Now click on insert, then click on module. Now here we have to create a sub procedure, that is sub, then give a space, then type the name, that is save quotation, bracket open bracket close, press enter. Let me make the size of the VBA window smaller so that I can see the Excel sheet as well. First of all, we have to save this quotation as a PDF copy. For that, we have to write this code here. First of all, write the sheet name, that is sheet number 6 dot range, then open a bracket. Now we have to define which portion of the sheet we want to save as a PDF. We need to save from A1 cell till D13 cell as a PDF. So here type double quotation A1 to D13 double quotation, then bracket close. Now we have to export this range as a PDF. So here type dot export. This will suggest you this export as fixed format. Double click on this to choose. Then give a space, then type Excel type PDF. Here you can double click this Excel type PDF, then give a comma. Now we need to give here the folder location where we want the PDF file to be saved. For that, minimize these windows. Then here I have quotation backup folder in my desktop. Open the folder. Then here to copy the folder address, click on this folder address bar. Then here the address will be given. Right click here to copy this. Now go to your VBA window and here paste the address that you copied. Paste. Now here we have to enclose this address with the double quotations. So before the address type double quotes, then at the end of the address type a slash symbol, then close this with another double quotation, give a space, then type the and symbol. Now we have to give the name of the file. As you see here in the sheet, we have to save the PDF from this file name, which is given in the J2 cell. So here we have to give the cell reference of the file name. So here type sheet6.range bracket open double quotation J2 double quotation close bracket close dot value, then give a comma. Now if you want to open the PDF file after saving, then here you can write open after publish colon, then type is equal to, then type true. Now this code will save the file as PDF. Now here we need to write a code to automatically increase the order quotation number by 1. For that we have to write this code. First of all, give the sheet name, that is sheet6 dot range open bracket. Now the order quotation number is given on the B2 cell. So here type double quotation B2 double quotation close bracket close dot value is equal to, again type this here sheet6 dot range B2 dot value. Now here we have to do +1. Now what happens is when we click on the button, then this number will increase by 1. The third thing we need to automate is delete the variable ranges of the quotation, because every time when we save the quotation we have to clear the detail of the previous quotation. That is, we have to clear the customer name and item rate and quantity detail. For this we have to clear the range from B3 to D3 and from A6 to C12. So here write this code to clear the range. Press enter, then type sheet6 dot range bracket open, then type here double quotation, type B3 colon D3 double quotation bracket close dot clear contents. Here you can choose this clear contents, press enter. You can now copy the same code, copy, then paste it here, then change this range to A6 to C12. So here make it A6 colon C12. Now after writing these codes here, close this VBA window, then right click on this button, click on assign macro. Now here you will have this save quotation macro, select it, then click OK. Now the save quotation macro is assigned to this button. Now click outside this button first. Now here let's make a order quotation. For example, customer name is ABC company. When you type ABC company, here you see the file name is generated. The first word of the customer is given here. The order number is given here, which is Q4, and the date is given here. And while creating this file name, you have to use this date formatting separated by dashes, because if you use the slash here, then the file name will not be supported. You have to use the dash here in case if you want to include the date in the file name. Now here let's type some items. Rate is suppose 22,000. Quantity order is 12 unit. Next item is refrigerator. Rate is suppose that 26,000. Quantity is 3 unit. Now to save this order quotation in PDF, then increase this number by 1, then delete the previous record. You can simply hit on this button. By one click you can do all these 3 things. Now let me click here, and here you see a PDF file is saved as order quotation number 4. close this, and here you see the previous quotation record is deleted. If you go to desktop and check here in the order quotation backup, here you see the quotation is saved in PDF. So by using the VBA code, we can automate the things. In this way, by using the VBA and macro, we can automate the repetitive task in Microsoft Excel. So this is all about the basics of using the VBA and macro in Microsoft Excel. We can do much more with VBA and macro in Microsoft Excel, which we will learn in the upcoming videos. Thank you very much for watching this. We will again meet on next video tutorial.